Alright, taking a deck off of a 420. Couple different things that you're going to need to do to take a deck off of 420. There are two different types of deck for the 420, 430. The first type of deck is a 60 inch, which this one has, and the second type of deck is the 50 inch, which I do not have. Both are gear driven, so you will have a PTO to take off underneath the machine, or shaft driven, through a gearbox, so gear driven. One of the first things you're going to do is you're going to want to turn all the wheels to where it will roll out from underneath the tractor. And the second thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and jack up the front of the tractor with just a simple bottle jack. That'll give me the clearance that I need to lift. Basically, it just gives you a little bit more clearance so you can get underneath the machine and the deck will come out nice and clean. So that's what we're going to do. Once I've got everything set up and I've got the deck wheels turned, we'll come back and we'll look at some specific parts of the deck. Just a couple notations about turning these deck wheels. Make sure the deck is in the air as high as it will lift. That way when you put the deck wheels down, you can put them in the top hole. That gets the deck up off the ground a little bit more, makes it easier to roll, much like I have here. I've got the pin here in the very top of the gauge wheel, and that way I've got as much clearance between the deck and the ground as possible. So particularly if you're doing this on a like a dirt surface or grass surface, makes it a little easier to roll. The deck's not going to catch on something. Secondly, actually I've got three things I'm going to tell you. Secondly, make sure you take the spring off. The spring normally connects to this tab right here. And then you just rotate that wheel. You could drop the wheel down if you so choose. I generally don't. That way it's set for when you put it back on there. And lastly, this is one of those things that just kind of aggravates me. People that use bolts to do stuff like this. I mean, I don't know. I really find this just incredibly lazy. It's good for a quick repair or something like that, but when you're gonna, I mean, this bolt has obviously been in this gauge wheel for several years, so I've got to get that handled. I've already taken off the spring up there, so I'll do that and we'll wheel the deck out from underneath there. Alright, so now that I have the deck, actually I do not have it all the way down to the ground. One of the things, yes, I do have it all the way down to the ground. I have the deck all the way down to the ground. I've lowered it all the way. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the two draft arms. The first one is right here. So I'm going to undo this. Now a lot of times what you can do is if you take a screwdriver, so just a decent sized flat bladed screwdriver, you can stick in here and you can pull this back a little bit. It makes this a little bit easier. I don't think the deck's been off this machine in years, based on how it feels. So this can also, it can be a huge pain sometimes. It makes me wonder exactly what the PTO shaft is going to be like to get off. Sometimes PTO shaft can be just absolute pain. Okay, so that one's loose. Now what you'll have to do is you've got these deck hangers under here. You still have to take those off. I'll take pictures of all this. And put them in the video. This is just a pin and a clip. For some reason, wow, this deck is like stuck on this tractor. And I just shot the pin to the other side. But that's okay. Now what I'm going to do, so I don't have to crank the tractor up again, you can actually take these deck hangers off, and I'll show you how to do that. Alright, so I decided to put these deck hangers on with the fender pan on the tractor, mostly just to show how to do it. So we have our deck hanger here, and I'm going to try to reverse everything that I normally do, because I'm sitting here trying to watch the camera to make sure that I have everything on film. There's a flat spot on the, so you see that flat spot right there? That flat spot you can loop over the deck hanger, like kind of like I'm doing right now. You can loop over it, and then once you've looped it over, it'll just hang down. So that's how you hook the deck hangers up. I just take them off, like I said in the video. I just take them off because it makes, I don't have to start the tractor and stop the tractor to lift the deck up. So you can also push these up, although they don't stay up very well. So since the deck's not currently on the tractor, I'm actually going to take it back off. So that's how you do that. So I'm going to do the same thing over the other side. All right. So now, draft arms are down. I'm also on this side, I'm going to take this off of the tractor. And now what I'm going to do is up here on the front of the tractor we have the PTO and we have the front draft arms. Now the front draft arms are held in by the typical J-clips that you see, or J-bolts, I call them J-clips, that would normally be on the front of the deck, but the whole assembly is actually held up into the frame by a pair of draft arms. So over here on the far side, there's actually, it's just an over-centering type of lever. And once again, I think that this is more or less just kind of frozen in here. So I think what I'm going to have to do is get a little bit more creative than normal to get this deck off, which is fine. It is what it is. Try one more time. Nope. I think that this over-centering is all seized up. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go underneath the tractor and we're going to take the J-hooks off the deck. That's not the normal way I would do it. So just take your screwdriver again and just work your way down in there. Those are surprisingly loose. And once they're free, they're free. That's pretty easy. Do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to have to remake this video. Alright, so now the J-hooks are off. So it still appears as though my draft arms are stuck, so I've actually got to, I'm going to stop the video and I got to work on that for a little bit. So that's not normally something you would encounter. I've never encountered a pair of stuck draft arms before, or front draft arms. So I'm going to work on that. I just got beat at my own game. I have not taken a deck off of a 420, 430 in so long. I forgot it wasn't just an over-centering. There's actually a pin in here, and I'll show it to you in just a second. And it comes right off. This pin right here actually fits into the frame. That's what I was stuck on. So, you know, I'm getting all mad at it for nothing. So, now the deck is free of the tractor. This is out of the way, so now I can put the jack underneath it. And it's actually slipping on the front axle, which doesn't really excite me. but it should be okay for what I need. Nope, we're not gonna leave it there, not safe. So I'm actually gonna put it back down and readjust it. Alright, so now I'm going to put a jack stand underneath it. We're right here. The sensor on away. There we are. Now I've just got this jack stand on the bumper, which is not ideal, but it should be fine for this purpose. Okay, so now everything's safe. I don't have to worry about anything. Next thing we have to do is take the PTO off. I'll throw a picture of taking the PTO off, but now that we have room, our arm is safe to go into there. We're going to see exactly how bad this thing is. And it appears to be pretty bad. So probably what I'm going to have to do is actually take the PTO off in parts. Okay, I'm going to turn the video off and work on that PTO some because it feels like it's going to take me a while. Alright, so I just use a rubber mallet. You can get enough room in there to actually tap on the PTO. Turn my wheels right again. And, oops. I was supposed to tell me about that. Okay, so we should be able to, theoretically, roll it out. At least, that's the goal, right? One of the things I have noticed is on the 420s, you've got to turn the wheels different ways to get it out. There you go. That's very interesting. So this is a a 90s or 91 420. So it's got an older style deck gearbox on it. You can see how tight the fit is there. But there's the deck. It is now officially out. So now what I'll do is I'll make I think because this video is going to be too long, I'll do another video of putting it back on, and then I'll do a quick just shot of me taking it back off. So thanks for watching.